How long does it take to paint a mural? So, have you ever watched a mural being painted and wondered, wow, this thing is going really fast? Or did you ever think, oh, it's taking a long time? I've driven by this guy last week and he's still painting it. Why? A lot of factors involved uh, in how long a mural takes to paint, how much experience the artist has, what type of wall it is, how much detail is it meant to be viewed from a distance or more close up? So it's funny because I just finished a mural in a school, and I got some comments from some artists I know, great artists by the way. One was saying, "Oh, and this wall took me 5 days," and they were saying that would take me 5 months. But then another artist was kind of questioning, why did it take so long? Now, I mean, I never rush my work. I don't claim to be fast. I don't claim to be slow. I'm probably somewhere in the middle. I think most of my customers think I probably paint fast. Who knows? But I will tell you that one job, for example, I'm going to show it to you here. For example, most of the time, I'm not just going to walk in and paint directly on the wall without doing any kind of preparation. So, what does preparation mean? Is the wall clean? At the very minimum, I will use a end of a broom handle to just dust it off. Sometimes that's all you need. It might need to be sanded. It might need to be primed. So this one was a school. The paint was in decent shape, but it had a lot of like fixtures on the wall, like those little the plugs. I took them all out. I patched it up. The wall needed a light sanding. After the sanding is very important. Clean the sanding dust. Okay, and then I also like to just do a quick wipe with some rubbing alcohol. The reason for that is to remove fingerprints. So that's what, and then after that, then I primed it and then I drew the wall. That was basically the first day. I think I got a little bit of painting, so that's why first day, and then the other 4 days I was painting the tiger, the background of the tiger, the bricks, and then the lettering. Now, could I have done it in 4 days? Yeah, probably. I think when I first started, quoted to them, I said probably about four. I think I said 4 to 6 days. I give them a range. They were not in any rush. I wasn't in anybody's way. There was no. I was actually painting. There was a wheelchair ramp where I was painting. So actually, that actually took a little bit of time because I literally had, it was about 4 feet, and I had to go by my scaffolding and ladder. That took me a little bit more time to get up there. That influenced the time as well. The school at the time doesn't have any students or teachers in wheelchairs, so that ramp was totally myself. I wasn't in anybody's way. I took my time, and you know what? Customers usually appreciate. I don't charge by the hour. If I think it's going to take 4 days, but maybe it might need a couple hours the next day or another day, that's what I'll do. I care more about quality than quantity. I don't care if I paint 10 great murals a year is better than 100 ones that I'm just slapping up. It's just not my personal style. Um, and they usually appreciate it. So that's why it ended up taking me the 5 days. Also, painting on brick, um, cinder block does take time. So if that same wall was bigger and it was outside, meant to be viewed from a distance, like from cars, I would probably have used a bigger spray gun, a bigger than this. It's just a tiny one, and it would probably went by quicker because I might not have even needed to mask to cover the ground, cover the sides if possible. When you're painting inside, if you're spraying, you have to be aware of that, which also takes time setting up. Now, I personally don't use spray cans. Nothing against them. Some of the best artists in the world use spray cans. There's Cobra. There's lots of them they use, and they have their benefits because it's a ready mixed. You don't have to worry about compressor air, none of that. So in general, spray cans are the fastest. I personally don't. I still use brush roller, airbrush spray guns. So it takes a little time. You got to mix the paint, but that's just how I prefer it because I can mix my own colors. But spray cans in general will be the fastest method. And when you're painting a huge wall, the detail is less tight. So that means if, let's say, I'm painting a portrait this big, the same portrait, it might take me a week, who knows how long, or depending how fast to get all those details in. If I'm painting the same thing 10 feet by 10 feet, I could probably do it in a day because the detail is less tight, even though it's there. Some people don't understand this until you do it, and then you understand why bigger usually is faster. Once it gets too big, it kind of goes the opposite. Because then if you're on a bucket lift or a jig or something, and I don't even do that. It's too big. I'll tell you, I'm afraid of heights, so I don't go too high. The tallest I've gone is 40 feet. It was more than my comfort zone, so I'm fine. Most of the stuff I do is residential, about the size, bigger, smaller. So it is actually kind of meant to be viewed from close. So I will spend more time on it. And that's why that wall ended up taking me 5 days. I think there's a little bit of an obsession on I see from artists with time, and it's funny because it works both ways. I see some artists almost like bragging, like, "Oh, I did this in 4 hours," and sometimes it's really good. But I also, to be honest, sometimes I think if you would have just took a couple extra hours, it would have been a more tight design. Now, maybe maybe the budget was really small. I don't know. I also see some people, mostly with canvas stuff, saying, "Oh, this painting took me 100 hours." I don't know. It's just a weird. It's a kind of a weird obsession that I don't personally understand. I don't charge by the hour, so I don't know. I don't know if maybe some people, are you impressed when somebody says it takes a long time to paint, or are you impressed when something takes a short amount of time to paint? I don't know. I'm asking. Let me know. Let me know what you think. I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just old. I don't. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like to brag that I painted something so fast, and I don't want to say, "Oh, this took me so long." I don't rush my work, but at the same time, remember something. If you're in somebody's home, no, I think people like me. They feed me and I love it, but they don't want me to be in there for too long either. I totally understand. And if you're on a deadline, if you're working at a commercial job, restaurant, anything, there's usually a deadline. So what's more important, I think, is being realistic. Give your customer a realistic expectation. This wall should take me 1 to 2 days, and try to keep with that. I think that's much more important than just trying to bang it out in 2 hours and brag how much money you made. What do you think? Do you think that mural artists are too fast, too slow? Do you care? I just care about the end product, to be honest with you. If you like this video and you like this type of video, let me know.